Hey XYZ fam! Guys, it's morning and I'm awake. Can you believe it?
It's also like late morning. It's not 5 or 6 o'clock.
True. We already, had a good morning and now we're heading to work. Well, at least I'm heading out to work and Zara's heading up to work. So, you guys know we went traveling for 3 months and it completely wiped us out.
Was that a dumb decision?
Let's see. If you're interested in this kind of video, come along with us! Alright, so what on earth were we thinking and why would we have done something so wild? First of all, backstory. The other day I went back to work at the hospital, right? And one night I was there, I was like writing, and then this nurse came up and she was just like, I know you. You're the doctor that went on the extended vacation. I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it. But as we've said multiple times, it was not a vacation. It was a strategic traveling move.
Yeah. I was still actively working full-time, 100%. And we had some savings, which is those savings that we'll talk about how we completely wiped it out. But backstory, if you're new here, we had 3 months of traveling around Southeast Asia. We went to about 8 different countries, exploring that part of the world, doing some missionary work, meeting some beautiful people. While we were doing it, Xaundre was studying for an exam that he had while working on our businesses, and that's what we were doing for the time when we were there. So just to kind of catch you up. And
to be honest with you guys, it's the second best decision I've ever made in my life.
Where first?
You.
You're so corny. Like, no, but guys, I want you to know that this is not just Xaundre and Karen. This is how we are. Ask anybody who know in real life, this is literally how we are. We're the most annoying people to be around. But if you're in a relationship, we're the ones who will remind you that you should never lose your spark.
Yeah.
No matter how annoyingly corny it is. If your friend them roll them eye, we used to it. Make them roll them eyes some more. Be the corny ones. Don't hold back.
Our friends roll their eyes all day.
Yeah, them tired of it. We try to tone it down though sometimes. But sometimes it naturally happens. Anyways. Back to the video.
Right, so how did we come by the money? Why did we decide to use up all of the money? And how are we starting over life?
From scratch again.
Yeah, so I'm a doctor and Zara is a lawyer, right? I'm at the level that you call senior house officer, which is basically the year right after internship. But at the time when we went on the break, I had just finished internship. I'm saying all of that to say life did just start.
We never have no whole money. We just got married.
Yeah.
We were just working. We left university in 2021. So
and then we got married in 2022, which was like, I don't know, 6 months out of university.
Yeah, so like we saved for the wedding with the help of our family, of course.
Yeah.
So all of that savings did gone at the wedding. Wedding never cheap.
So then we have to start over right after the wedding.
Yeah, so then we saved for like about a year. For this trip.
And then blow all of it on the trip. And then start over life again. But then the question is, was it a strategic move? And to be honest with you guys, alright, hold on. Before I answer that question, we should probably give some context to this idea of broke, right?
Yeah.
So, by most people's standards, we were broke.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we had already stashed away some money in like an emergency fund that we didn't have to touch, and we had stashed away money in investments. So we had some money, like absolute worst case scenario, you buck your toe, fall off a hill and break your neck, we can still make it work.
Yeah, so we had some money tied up in investments, for real. But those investments, we really don't want to touch them until the next 20 years. And the truth is, or 30.
So we didn't have any liquid. Yeah, we didn't have any liquid assets by the time the whole thing was done. But it was a decision that we made leading up to it. I remember asking Zara, "Are you sure?"
Over and over again.
Yo, I asked her so many times that she was just like, Zon, where's your faith in God? But I was just like, are you really sure you want to do this? Like, do you realize that this means we could end up flat on our faces and have to come right back to where we started with no money in the bank and just have to build again from scratch.
I mean, we're 25. What's the worst can happen? That's what I said. Like, we're young.
So that was it. That was actively the reason we decided that it was worth it. We don't have kids. We have parents who are still very much active and healthy.
We have very low overhead.
We basically, you know, we're managing to survive off of like minimal expenditure each month. So we can make it work. We can make it work. That said, it was not an easy decision because I had already taken off some months right after med school to do the first exam. So I was already tracking almost 6 months behind my peers. This would now mean I'd track another 6 months behind my peers. So basically, I am a year back from when everybody else who started with me in med school, you know, would be in their training.
So first lesson, your journey is your journey. And sometimes when we're on different journeys and we look on people, like, so for me, when I decided I was not going to go the traditional legal route, and I looked on the people who are around me and I was like, yeah, but you know, they might be in their firms and they might start as associate, but then they might be partners and I might have FOMO that I'm not in court every day and stuff. But then I had to realize,
what's FOMO?
FOMO, fear of missing out. Then I had to realize that that's just not my journey. And it's the same thing with your spiritual life. And I know, guys, I know there's
alright, let's just plug right here for the object lesson.
But your spiritual journey is going to be different, and you might feel that you're behind because you made a radical decision to do something that suits you and something that benefits you. But don't worry about feeling behind, or don't worry about looking on other people's journeys, because what's important is the journey that you're on with God. That's really what's important. So yes, sorry for stopping your train of thought.
No, man, that's fine, because we spent quite a bit of time talking and praying about this decision to go on this adventure of a lifetime. And we also read a book. The book was called Die with Zero. I've spoken about it a couple of times on the channel. But basically it says your goal in life is to accumulate as many memories as possible, good memories. And you want at the end of the day not to have a full bank account and not have had, you know, an opportunity to enjoy your life. So you must take each stage for what it is. And truth is, we're at the stage where we can be broke and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're actively at that stage. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you must be frivolous. Obviously, we talk about financial stewardship all the time, and we're still, you know, we return with tithe, and we continue to give to charity, and we continue to, you know, pay with bills. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes we have to skimp on some of the nicer things, you know, and or when we travel, we don't travel luxury.
And you guys would have seen that we traveled very cheaply. And I think travel and excursions and stuff like that are cheaper than a lot of us realize, because we pay expensive a lot, especially in Jamaica. We pay expensive car notes and monthly. We take out the most expensive clothes. We want to have these big expensive things in our houses that sometimes we don't necessarily need. So for us, we decided, okay, we don't want none of that. So instead of having like a fancy apartment, we decided, okay, we're going to go somewhere that's going to cost us very little to live, and we're going to live in a small section. I would not go and be, you know, frivolous to say, okay, we're married now, so we have to live in a 1-3 bedroom, or we have to live in a one, like, we're okay, we do look at 1 bedroom. Because with the bills very low, boom.
Very low. Like, we've been intentional about trying to be lean. Like, we know where every dollar goes, and it goes where we want it to go. I mean, I probably shouldn't over exaggerate that to say we know where every single dollar goes. But generally speaking, the big chunks of our money, we know where it goes and we can account for it. That said, it was a decision that we made when we were getting married to live a low-key and lean life.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, without the nice car, nice house, and you know, all the nice things that come with it.
And we have a decent car that brings us where it needs to go, but we could have had an extra car. So for example, we share a car.
Yeah.
I could have taken out a car a long time and start paying on that one time. And you know, it sometimes we struggle sharing one car because I have some things to do and Xaundre have some things to do. But it's a sacrifice that we knew that we had to make for the greater good.
Yeah.
And instead of paying a car note, what we did is that we saved that money towards the trip. Still had to go in our savings even though we were making money, right? And at the end of it, we were basically now at zero. Time to build back up.
Yeah. Thankfully, we never ended up in the red.
Yeah.
And we never had to dip into our emergency fund. We never had to sell any of our assets or investments in order to. you know. And I mean, we don't have no whole heap because, as I said, we're just starting out life. But it was good to know that we ended at more or less a break-even point. And then we came back and we literally just picked up where we left off. Like, just picked up right where we left off. And it's almost like that was a whole life that we got to live. And now we're back to reality and we have the memories and the lessons that were learned through that experience. But it's obviously not for everybody, because some things that we endured and some challenges that we're willing to kind of embrace as ours, a lot of people wouldn't survive. That's the reality of it.
Like what kind of challenges?
Being stuck in Vietnam on the bus where they might pull way off. Sleeping on the floor in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just hop, jump, skipping around the US when we came back, going to all the different places, staying with different family members. Yeah. Because for a lot of people, you know, they're now adults and they're living on their own. They're not going to do that. Yeah. It was a rough night last night. Bed bugs bite me. Are you guys hearing this? Alright, it stopped now. But there's this animal. Some bird or monkey or something. But it's been making noise all night. Oh my goodness. Oh my. It took us almost 2 days to find this place. And when we get vexed this morning, I found a place for $20 a night in like 10 minutes. And we booked it and we're heading there. So no idea how this is gonna turn out. But if you're interested in this kind of content, like for us, we were secure in, you know, what we have going on, and we're okay with that, because worst case scenario, as we say all the time, worst case scenario, we come back to Jamaica.
You just start a shop.
Just
say you know what, and not have any legal work. And I think that's why I always tell kids to stay in school. You know, as much as I'm always in some risky business venture and always I say me I do something that's more like not traditional. My worst case scenario is that I can go to court. Like, people always at a parish court, I want a lawyer. You get me? And I think that's why education is so important. And having the security in knowing that you can start this business, you can try this new skill, you can jump here and there. But at the end of the day, your worst case scenario is that Xaundre can also open a little shop and say, come, we do some school medical, come and check for your blood pressure and your sugar and write your prescription. That's like our worst case, and that is a very good worst case.
That's a very good worst case.
So stay in school, kids, okay? Don't like you want to be a content creator, you want to be an influencer, you want to do YouTube full time, that's completely fine. I'm here for it with a degree. Go to school. I'm pro school. I mean, pro school.
At the very least, continue on the traditional path while you're building out the side hustle, and until the side hustle is making more money than your traditional path, then it's probably not a good idea to jump.
Or even if you don't do a degree, learn a skill.
Get
a profession, get a career, have a main thing that you can always go back on, because you know, one of the things, and I don't know how we got here, but one of the things we were talking about is how we have to evolve. And even on our Christian journey, God is never changing, but culture changes, context changes, and you will have to evolve as leaders of young people, as leaders of churches, as members of churches as well. You'll have to evolve in the way you do things, right? Because things and times have changed, and that is maybe a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But you'll have to evolve over time with the skill that you would have learned from you're a teenager or you're a young person, right? You're gonna have to evolve, but you're gonna have to be in a mindset where you're ready, you have something to build on. So you need to have a foundation that you can build on that foundation. So whether it is in your spiritual journey or in your church life or whatever, or it's in your professional journey, always have a foundation that you can build on, knowing that things are moving. So either you move with it
or you get left behind. Big facts.
Do you have anything on your bucket list that you'd want to share? Is anything that you've always felt that was too big that you don't want to share? Let's talk. If you're watching this video, please remember to like it, share, and if you are new here, why not already subscribe?
Come on, hit that button, man.
You know you want to be a part of the crew.
Let's go. Anyway, back to the video. Alright, so there's also another component to this brokenness, right? Or brokenness. Brokenness?
Broke.
To us being broke.
Broke.
So while we were traveling, I also hit an emotional low. Like, okay, maybe not as low as I've ever. The lowest I've ever been was in those first 3 months of internship. My lord.
You never want to go back.
I never want to think about that again.
Yeah.
That was during pediatrics. I was a mess. I was an emotional wreck. But the Lord sent me an angel.
Stop!
Anyway, bottom line is
I'm joking. I low-key love the foolishness.
Low-key, very high-key. You're here for it. What ended up happening is I really love like people, as you guys know. I derive a lot of my energy from, you know, interacting with people. I'm a true extrovert. And when we were traveling,
so that's where you pull your energy
that's
from.
where I pull my energy from.
People.
And when we were traveling, it was just the two of us. Just the two of us. We couldn't make it even if we tried. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
You and I. Boom, boom, boom.
so there were times when I was lonely. Like, you're in a world with so many people and you still feel alone.
And I couldn't get it because I was like, am I not enough for you? No, traveling challenges your relationship. I'm not gonna tell you any lie, because I was like, why do you want to hang out with other people? Am I not? But then Xaundre is such a true social being. I'm good by myself. When I tell you, I'm not even fronting, guys. Like, I love people. I'm a people person. I can do, but I don't draw my energy from people. I draw my energy from me. I need quiet, and I'm good. This right here, I don't need nothing else. I can call my mother on the phone. That's it. I'm good. I'm good. Xaundre, not so much. He needs, and not even phone calls aren't enough. Video call, not so much. He wants to be in person with people, so he struggled.
I want to sit down and talk with Raheem and Danny.
Yeah.
And bust ears with my friend them.
And they weren't there.
You know.
Yeah.
They weren't there. More. Me and Davian link up and we sit down and just reason. You know, just that talking for half an hour, 45 minutes will keep me for next week.
Yeah.
But we weren't getting that because most people never even spoke our language.
Most people never spoke our language, and most people didn't align with our values.
That was such a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, apparently the backpacking community is not very Christian.
not very Christian. They're not even very level-headed.
Yeah.
Because the backpacking culture is that a lot of Europeans especially are a part of this backpacking culture, and they go after their gap year of high school. So the bulk of the people who were there were children, 18 to about 21. That's the age of the majority of backpackers.
You really think an 18-year-old is a child? Or a 21-year-old is a child?
Yes, I do. I remember myself at 18, I was a child. And they were just leaving home and they were going on this year-long.
They're kind of light.
Yeah. No, man.
Clueless.
No, okay. So, child in its truest sense. Not necessarily that you're underage.
Yeah.
But they just left high school. Because remember, especially in Europe, they have a similar system to us in Jamaica. Well, in US too, you just left high school at 18. So, they just left high school. And they were on this gap year. Some of them never leave home. And they come backpacking to get drunk, have random bouts of sex, and get drunk again. And
then sleep it off, just to rinse and repeat.
Literally. And then they go and explore the places. Nobody think them gonna feel learn nothing, because them walk around 2 times and get drunk again. That really the majority
so true,
of backpacking culture, that's what it was. So we found ourselves in a space where we never really felt like we could relate to a lot of people who were there who spoke English.
Until we met up with our friends in
Hong Kong.
Well, in Cambodia first.
Yeah, and then Hong Kong. When we were in the Philippines, we did meet some people in the Philippines who were Adventists, but they were like 2 sweet girls and stuff who were young people as well. But we just were there for a day, and we got a lot of connections with digital nomads who are like older people who are like, you know, working somewhere else, but for them it was kind of work. They never really have the time for that reason or nothing like that. Which gives me to the second big object lesson, is that never underestimate the value of having Christian friends around you and having people who can pour into you. And we love that we can be a part of your journey, and we can maybe be the Christian friends that you never had in real life, because we take it for granted because we grew up in a space where Christian friends are left, right? Them, they're everywhere. We phone call away. We have our group of friends. We can
literally lift up the phone and just call a friend wherever in the world, really. Well, certainly wherever in Jamaica. And just be like, yo, I'm in the area. We can go to church. Or we're going to go for lunch, or, you know.
Or not even just that, but people who you can talk to about things that are happening. And not just to sit down and have Bible study, but to have good conversations about life and to get their different opinions from a biblical standpoint. You don't have to think about any negativity or any energy coming in from any other places or any other gods or any other. You don't have to, not with that background, you know.
Yes, it's very important to surround yourself with people like those. Anyway, in summary, was it a good idea? 10 out of 10?
Definitely recommend.
Because we're set back by 6 months, but
so what?
Like the experience.
Take that bold step. Just think about, anytime you're ready to take a bold step, just think about us. Just think about us to say, we might look like two pitney, we're just kind of dab around this world thing. I'm not so sure what I do.
I mean, we're not really so sure.
Most times we aren't sure what we're doing. We're winging it.
But we wing it in a kind of advised manner. With faith in it. Where are we and how are we starting over? So we're back in Montego Bay, our home. As you know, I did the exam, successfully passed it.
Yeah.
I told you guys it was a testimony in the making. Well, the testimony has been made. The Lord came through and it worked out well. So we're at a stage now where we're more or less like preparing for the next big move. Which for us,
we're not really sure when that is.
Yeah, which for us is kind of still up in the air.
Yeah.
So in a kind of little limbo period, we're trying to match it up and kind of keep our options open. I'm doing a little bit more professional development in terms of research and stuff like that. And Zara is starting a store.
Yes. So, I'm still doing regular work, working in the agency, doing law. I'm launching the Church Girls store this year. Hopefully, we can launch between the end of September to early October. Haven't set an actual date yet, but follow us on Instagram at Shop Church Girl for all the updates. So the Church Girls store. Okay, so
I was wondering how she was so composed because she been talking about it all day. This guys, Zara was not an entrepreneur when I met her. Somehow I rubbed off the bug on her, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this monster I created.
This is the second business. So the first business was Legally Social. I love doing it. And then of course running the firm or doing the law things. I don't even think I have a law firm, but me do some law work, right? And then this is like this second business, but the first.
This is not her second business. This is her second successful business.
We try enough things in life, okay? Try it. Let's not. That's our whole. I've tried a lot, but the Church Girls store caters to church girls. We're gonna be doing church clothes, trendy and fashionable but modest. And of course, even though the first collection is going to be a church clothes collection, the other collections that I plan to launch will be like going out clothes, everyday basics, because the church girl goes to a lot of places and we're tired. A cut out everywhere. I don't feel like there are enough stores that are dedicated, especially in Jamaica, that are dedicated to our style. And I have a very girly feminine style, and I've gotten a lot of people ask me about that girly feminine style, which is something that I really love. And I can't wait to curate pieces that everybody will love. I'm very excited about it. The girls are very excited about it. I don't even have to ask, because I know. Okay, I'm a girl's girls. For anybody who don't know, I'm a girl's girl. This journey started a long time ago with Dear Church Girl. And this channel used to be a girl's channel only. Until the man come and now...
Mash up your life.
No, you've added a lot of value to my life.
Oh, okay.
So the truth is, Xaundre has been my main partner in this business, keeping me very grounded.
Alright, hold on. Let's add some context as well. When we got married, right? I kind of brought this minimalist approach to life to our marriage, right? And it's kind of foreign to Zara, because Zara is coming from a place where she would she have like a money, she just go buy the clothes because she just want her next clothes. And somehow I don't really buy clothes, as you might imagine. The only reason I kind of ish dress up is because I'm about to leave for work. But
this a dress up?
This not a dress up?
Not really.
Oh. Case in point. So I kind of needed to find a way to be okay with her still being a little bit less minimal than I am, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't think I'll ever be minimal.
Yeah, because
I don't have those dreams.
She doesn't have those minimalist ambitions, but I do. And I'm okay with that for her. So then when she came with this idea about the store, initially I wasn't too feeling it. But then over time, as she started to show me how she would develop product market fit, and I'm seeing, wow, this really does make sense, and there's a genuine need out there. Plus, you get to do what you really love to do, which is to buy clothes. It's just like, wow, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Because now you're catering to people who are already a part of your community, solving an actual problem by doing something you love, which is to buy clothes. And I won't get annoyed because it's not just more clothes to pile up in the closet.
Business.
It's business.
Yeah. And
so it's just a win-win-win-win-win-win all over.
Yeah, and this store has been a dream of mine for a really long time. And I would have been sharing it with, before we got married. I remember writing it down in my journal. If I'll find the journal, I'll insert this specific date that I wrote it down and started making plans. And I remember talking to Zan about it, and I was really sad and demotivated because he was like, I think it's a good idea. It's not the right time.
Yeah, that time would just have been
First of all,
idea.
it was COVID.
Also had a lot going on in terms of getting married.
We not even did engage.
Yeah, but I mean, I knew.
You knew.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a time to take on all of these other risky things. And then we also had the idea that maybe one day we want to travel. It would have been hard to do that while trying to start a business. And yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm excited and I look forward to all the girls supporting. When we had the retreat, like when we had the Dare Church Girl community, there were people who were there who were all ages, because you are a girl within. And I mean, if you want to feel older and call yourself a lady or a woman, it's boring.
Anyway, guys, so for now that's it, but we want you guys to continue to pray for us, as we take on this life thing. We try to faith it through, a little bit of winging here and there, but we try to faith it through, and we're in this journey together. Y'all and us, and we're there, and we're pressing on.
Thank you for being on this journey with us. We've been growing, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all the shares, the likes, the comments. We appreciate seeing you guys out in public and giving you a hug, and Xaundre saying, what's your name? Even though maybe I'm not gonna remember, but it's nothing personal.
I like to know your names though. I'll probably forget after a week or so, but if you check me back the following day, I'll probably remember.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. We just interact with so many of you, and it's just always a joy. Whenever you see we in a public, don't be shy.
Please.
We are not shy people. So we don't mind saying hello back, giving you a hug if you're a hugger, because we genuinely do appreciate you being here. It's not just one of them. We never want to be the YouTubers that you can't talk to in real life, or the people who you feel like you've connected with through the screen, but then when you're in person, no, we're not.
Or when you're walking at the office and see that I'm your doctor and you go, Doc, I know you're from YouTube.
Yeah, we love it all. But yeah, that is like a little life update and the brokenness that we'll try to be unbroken now. So right now we're not a liquid cash, because obviously everything now tied up in this store.
I was about to say, we got back, settled in, we're good, like we're surviving and everything, and then channeling all of our money towards Zara's newest endeavor.
Yes.
So
we're not everything tied up in that. We can pay our bills, but we can't really do a lot of fun things right now because we're building this.
And it's just a strategic move,
Yeah. So maybe the adventures might not be as adventuring as much as we used to be. For now, we're taking a little break, or they might be a little cheaper. The adventure them a little bit cheaper. We're going back to that, the cheaper ones, while we build this store. And we're on this new journey. So remember the baby one, the one we have?
Decide, baby.
Alright, thank you so much for joining us.
So we'll see you next time on Adventures of XYZ. Bye, guys.
Let me sit up straight. Look like Humpty Dumpty.
Sat on a wall.
Especially look at ear up stuff.
Just don't drop. Because Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, you get it?
Dum dum dum.